This is Max Michaelani, and you're listening to the Crowject.
Left foot goal. Oh, don't tell me. He's a superstar. Don't tell me. Oh!
Bounces straight up. Leaves the path the ball. Oh, they're having holes.
Look at Lee Kelly. Can she be the hero? Kick off goal.
He's done it.
Back towards Jarman. Jarman. Yes. Done. Jarman.
Here's the mark of the year. Well played now. No one will stand.
Eddie fooled them all. Escaped. Eddie Betts.
All right, thanks to our sponsors Ian, Solely Designs, and Nathaniel's Coffee and Panini, Trojan Aluminium, and ARC General Maintenance. This is the Crowject Podcast, episode 270, coming at you bigger, harder, and stronger with only two of us tonight. There is so much to talk about after the huge showdown that happened on the weekend, but also the SANFL showdown too, and also the AFL Women's is coming, and all of the news too, and all of your feedback as well. Now, it is a party of two tonight. My name's Peter. Thank you for listening to Crowject, and I want to say hello to Benny Mack. How are you?
Good, mate. It's great to be in a room surrounded by friends again, and just...
There's been something about you over the last couple of weeks where...
I don't know if it's a reflection on me that only one person has been here the last couple of weeks, but, you know, you were just taking turns being like, all right, someone has to go and see him.
That's okay, but a big thank you to our patrons as well, patreon.com/Crowject, and thank you for helping to keep the lights on here at our bunker. We've got our Patreon bonus as well at the end of the pod with our segment stream. We just recorded our pre-roll as well, which we went through a plethora of things, didn't we, Ben?
We did. We what did we share? Some opinion on different poll questions.
Oh, yes. The rating of all the AFL mascots.
It's a bit of mascot matter.
Who's the most punchable?
Yep.
Of the AFL mascots, which we'll get to in the news soon. And also some college football and NFL football chat too. But, Ben, there were a few games on the weekend, but the biggest one on the weekend was, of course, the Showdown 56. Tell me more, my man.
Well, unfortunately, we went down to Port 11-14, 80 to 8-10, 58 in front of a crowd of 52,459 at the Adelaide Oval.
Yes. Did we expect anything else?
I did.
Yeah, I know.
I did until about halfway through the third quarter. It was looking okay, but
we will get
something happened.
Something happened. The elephant in the room, as Cream would like to say. But who were the goal scorers?
Rankin kicked 2, Fogarty kicked 2, Rochelle, Thilthorpe, Hinge, and Keys all kicked 1.
Now, shall we get to the feedback first?
Yeah, let's do it. Why not?
Why not? Because we were going to go through things about everything that happened with the elephant in the room, which we'll get to soon. Also, head over to YouTube as well if you want to watch us live. Hello to everyone over on YouTube, unless our recording device decides to stuff up again, and then it'll just be a spectrograph that you'll be looking at. But there was a plethora of feedback, wasn't there, Benny Mac? Now, I see you've got Instagram stories up, so I'll get to Facebook. So you go through some of those Insta story feedback.
Indeed. So first one here is from JHudson_19, friend/enemy of the pod. Of course, you can, if you want to go and listen to the preview pod from last week and pretend the game has never happened, then feel free to go and listen to that.
That was just pretty much me and Jack just talking about how much wine we'd had.
Yeah, a few different cheeses.
I didn't have work. Yeah, I didn't have work the next day, but he did. So,
well, he's just basically said ha 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 L.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Jack. Fiona Thompson says Port are feral. Chloe R Part 2 says Port played dirty. Dylan Chase Burford says, reminds me of Ace Ventura. Laces out. Die, Dan, die.
Oh. What?
I don't know. I remember Ace Ventura, but I can't think of that reference.
So it's Ray Finkel with the Super Bowl in 84. It was the winning field goal.
Yeah.
But Dan Marino didn't put laces out. So Ray Finkel spends his whole time. Laces out, Dan. That's it. I don't get the reference, actually, but in regards to that, but Ace Ventura is on Netflix. There you go.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Roscoe the Boston Co says, no thoughts, just Crom women won, and that's all that matters. All right, here we go. Now we're getting into some meaty comments with this page here. Jaspers 80 says, no final chances. Boys should have taken more sanctions for the hit on Rankin.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
M. Del Bello pretty much summed up what we'll talk about shortly. He said, Port fans cheering Rankin's concussion and then booing him off. Stay classy.
We've got thoughts on that, don't we?
Yeah, we certainly do. KJ Scoob says, probably about time this end of season showdown showed the result of top 8 versus not 8 teams.
Say that again.
Not really sure. He said, probably about time this end of season showdown showed the result of top 8 versus not 8 teams. Is that saying that generally in the second showdown, usually the lower ranked team beats the higher ranked team? I think maybe.
Sam, write into us.
Indeed, please let us know. Kian says, hard to win when the opposition has a military grade sniper playing for them. Natalia Aroa just said O, the letter O.
Oh.
James Dog 184 says, Houston, we have a very big problem. And then 2 more. We have Alana Scalzi, who featured on our Walk and Talk last week or the week before, I think. Said, Port supporters are so wrong for booing Isaac off the field. And PDC 2211 says, Port beat a bottom 4 team and they're acting like they already won the grand final. Pathetic club.
That last one, it's a good point. Because I wouldn't get much joy out of if the tables were turned, and I'll just be like, we did what we needed to do, rather than it being like, we got so much out of that game. I mean, for Port, I would be concerned.
If you're sitting in second, going towards September, and you've been pushed pretty hard by
exactly, and at 3/4 time, you're only up by 2 points.
Yeah,
I mean, come on, and you've just taken out the guy that was in the centre and up forward too. Hello.
Yeah.
What can you get out of it?
And all week they're talking about, you guys are pumping it up as this massive game and blah, 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 and it means nothing to us, bigger fish to fry, et cetera, et cetera. And now you're acting like it's the most important game in the world.
Exactly. Now, shout out to Jordan, who did the final post as well, who did the meme of Drake, shirking away with the winner showdown with dignity, but then pointing and saying yes and saying knock out Cron's best player to get the advantage. Very true. We got a lot of bait from that one. Mm-hmm.
I can imagine we did.
Now, over on Facebook, we have Setimio Filippi, who says, nothing to say, better team won, took out one of our key players. They win, but at the same time won't be in finals for that long, especially with Pitt Huston. Okay. Thank you, Setimio. Okay. Trevor Bauer, who... okay. Ain't going to win shit with Laird, Crouch and Murphy in this team. Trevor, no, you're wrong.
Well, I agree with one of the three.
Okay, look. But to say that Crouch...
Yeah, no, he was good.
He was really good.
He was good. I mean, Laird was pretty average for probably half of the game, but I mean... In the second half, there wasn't much.
Yeah.
As a whole, really.
Dawood Tuckwell says, not much to get worried or upset about. After tonight's showdown lost, we're all but certain of finishing with pick 4. Yeah.
Ramp it up.
Also, not long now until Crows welcome Alex Newbullen, Jack Lukosius, Sid Draper and Tyler Welsh.
I'll tell you what, this could be a big off-season.
Ooh, yeah. It's going to be a plethora of people coming in.
Exactly. It's a revolving door, except you can only go in.
We did that with a camp. Ethan's written in, Darcy Fogarty is so shit. 2 disposals in the second half. Might as well play a donkey in his position.
Mate. Ethan. The delivery to him was shit, and he's a key forward. What do you want him to do?
Exactly. And Brendan Willis follows up and says, Ethan, might have helped if we kicked it to him. Matt Talbot, mentally weak, lost the plot when Rankin went off. The game was lost at that moment. Absolutely. Brendan McGarrigan, I'm not angry, just disappointed. Sounds like my family with everything I do. Now, we head over to Twitter as well, or the platform formerly known as Twitter. We asked over there, Lockie McLaren at Claza1997 says, well, at least the Premier League has started. Who's your Premier League team?
Man United, so it doesn't get much better. I mean,
Okay.
we won on the weekend, so it's fine. Stop the table now, and we're looking good.
Yeah. Big Dan says, nah, let them have their glory. With the Saints winning, we will get pick 4, 5, and our hands on a quality midfielder. Thank you. Hell yeah. Steve at StephenGFC13 says, gotta say, 15, 20 years ago, that was a bloody ripper hit with 2 flexes of the biceps. Happened every weekend in the parks around town. But things have changed. The game's gone soft. Yeah.
It was a bit of a slap in the face.
I think it was more than that, Ben.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Okay. Eey, whoops. Not a snowball's chance in hell says, it took them to take our best player to win the game in the end. This was a top 4 team just beating a side sitting in 14th. Finals for Port out in straight sets. Hell yeah. Now, this is one I'm going to call out because I'm not a fan of this sort of stuff. Jace at AFC_JP83. I wish one of our players did it to Butters or Rosie. Win at all costs, Port did that. That's why they're premiership favourites. No.
Nah.
No.
Well, they're not going to be... actually, let's have a fact check on that, because now that Houston's not going to be in their team...
Yeah.
Let's just see. Because I don't think they would be premiership favourites.
Correct.
Without him. And I mean, you want to win fairly. You don't want to do it by taking out players. It's just... Yeah, don't particularly agree with that one.
I couldn't disagree more with that. I'm not... Like, an eye for an eye... Like, at what point are you just going to end up taking... It'll be like bloody 3-on-3 out there at some point. You're just chasing each other to knock each other out. Like,
yeah. Port are the third favourite. So Sydney the favourite, GWS second favourite. And then,
Sydney is still favourite.
Yeah, they've come back in over the last couple of weeks.
What the fuck? Okay. Matt Lang. Couldn't give a shit, to be honest. Oh, God. Okay. Matt Grisada says, how good was it? Night ball sack. That's what he said. Night balls. Oh, night Isaac. He's
heroic. That's so stunning and brave.
Yeah. And Buffalo Pills. The game felt like an even, honest battle until the bump. Hearing the crowd boo Rankin-off was probably the scummiest thing I've seen from a crowd. No free kick in front of goals, and the energy of the game was totally changed. Was unenjoyable being there from that point on. Shameful. And that's exactly how I feel too. So, look, some fantastic feedback from everyone. Thank you so much. There was some other posts that we had up too, but we got a plethora of feedback. So, honestly, thank you for writing in. We got your phone calls coming soon too. But, Ben, let's talk about that hit.
Yes.
Because, look, I know we've got selections and everything else like that, but my God, I put it on Twitter saying that when the Aaliyah hit happened in last year's Showdown 2, I honestly didn't care about the rest of the game. It just felt empty. I know, Texas goal and everything that happened, which was great, but at the same time, it felt a bit not good. It felt icky. That's how I felt. How was it for you? First off, you were there as well.
Yeah.
Tell us about the vibes at the ground. Do you remember anything?
Yeah, no, I do. I do.
Good.
Despite starting quite early in the day on the cans, I do remember it. And probably a similar feeling. I guess the Aaliyah one last year was a bit different because it was very much an accidental, innocuous head knock. Wasn't anything on purpose. But the Houston hit, it sapped the energy. Like that last comment on Twitter said, just felt shit after that. Like you could tell that the boys had lost all momentum. They'd lost all everything and just couldn't get it back together, and Port just ran away, and it was just a bit shit, really.
It was, I don't know. I couldn't agree more. Like the vibe on the hill, did it change as people started to see it, or what was it like?
Generally, as it happened, it was just sort of your general footy reaction where, like 2017 prelim where Danger and Sloan ran into each other. It was a bit of, footy, hard men, big hit, blah, blah, blah. And then we all sort of saw it again and went, oh, fuck, that's not good. And then a couple of minutes later, Isaac's still laying on the ground, and we're going, "Oh fuck, that's really not good."
Yeah.
It was a bit somber after that. And yeah, like a few of the comments reference there, hearing people boo him off, and looking at the footage afterwards and seeing people like wave at him as he's going down the race, just gross.
Yeah, I've got a take on that about the booing. I'm convinced and I'd love to know perspective of people that were there as well, whether there were Crows players that were coming off the ground as well, that were being subbed out, because there was a bit of a melee that was happening, fracas, with lots of fines as well. Hey, you're not going to believe it. Zach Butter's got another fine.
Oh,
yay!
Did he get one for diving this time, or what, for that double free kick in the last quarter? Because he should have.
Don't get me started. You got me started.
Yeah, I got you started.
No.
On that, I don't think there was, because both teams were sort of standing in their huddles as it was happening.
Okay.
Like I watched the footage back Sunday morning when it was a bit of a shitstorm on Twitter, and I was just throwing out the reel a little bit and catching a few big fish.
You did very well with that, by the way.
Yeah, no, you could see from the vision there, it was both teams were in their huddles as he was sort of first being taken off on the cart, and it was pretty evident that that was all that was being booed at. The Port fans will try and tell you, no, it was because when Horn Francis had the ball. It's like, no, they're standing in their huddles. No one had the ball.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I stand corrected then.
Yeah, no, obviously after he got the ball, yes, we did boo at that afterwards, but the initial boos came as he was on the stretcher being driven off, and it was gross.
This is a part of why I don't like going to away showdowns. Because now you've just verified what my worst fear was.
Yeah.
I remember going to the 06 showdown when Henschel did his knee.
Yeah.
And I was sitting in the Port out. I know I talked about this before. Went with my sister as well. We were sitting right near the Crows race at Footy Park, right?
Yep.
Not only were Port fans booing, they were throwing things as well. Now, I don't know if Trent remembers that, or he was just sucking on the green whistle at the time and didn't feel a thing.
Yeah.
And fair enough, because that was quite a traumatic injury for that poor guy. But at the same time, seeing that in the flesh, it actually galvanised me to be like, I don't want to go to an away showdown, because this is just disgusting.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's 18 years after that and they're still doing this shit?
Yeah.
Nah.
And yeah, the majority watching it back, a majority of the fans were good and were clapping him off and giving a proper send-off and respectful. But it's just that minority, which seems to be a very vocal minority at Port games, whether it's, that's a coincidence or what it is, just seems to ruin it for the rest of them. Because for the most part, on the hill, it wasn't that bad. Like we were talking pre-recording here, that really there wasn't anything bad that happened on the hill on Saturday night, which is surprising to say the least. Compared to a few of the last showdowns. But
I do remember the 2022 Porsche. It was Robbie Gray's send off.
Yeah,
there was some things that were happening on the hill, including some slip and slides and underage drinking.
Yeah, that game.
Not from you. I just want to say that it was.
That was right where I was standing, but I had left at that point because my mate's dad got bashed by some Port fans. So yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So you had a good time?
Yeah, I was extremely intoxicated on Saturday, so it made the blow a little bit better. But yeah, it was just sort of melancholy after that hit. Yeah, it wasn't really, I know that. Yeah. You still wanted to win, but it was like there are more important things at the moment, and just sucked it out a bit.
Yeah, and look, there's been an update from the club that Isaac's okay. I was actually, and I know Sophie tweeted about it as well, that she was concerned that it had taken this long for news to come out. So, look, thoughts are with him, and we're recording on Monday night, so the result of the tribunal and David Zeta getting more schnitz will be happening on Tuesday night, so probably by the time you're listening to this, that result may come through. Now, they're talking at least 3 weeks.
Yeah, the minimum's 3 because they've graded it as careless rather than intentional, which is another interesting thing that I'm thinking about for this one, because he lined him up from quite a far way away. But yeah, so it's a minimum of 3, and I mean you have to look at it. If Isaac himself got 4 for his hit on Starcevic, which was pretty innocuous and probably not as intentional as what that was, you got to be looking at minimum 4, probably 5, maybe 6.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I was actually really surprised that because to say that it was careless. He made a choice to not tackle.
Exactly right. Yeah.
He chose to butt.
Exactly. There was time to tackle. There was time to take other options.
Exactly.
He's gone straight up the middle. Like, it's not a side-on bump. It was it was straight up the front.
Yeah. Good luck, mate, and enjoy being traded back to Victoria.
Indeed. We'll see you next year with whatever team you land up at.
Now, I know we're sort of going back a little bit, but with the selections, Tech's coming out. What was he out again?
The eye injury.
Oh, of course, the dicky eye. He's back to mowing the lawn, by the way. I saw that on his Instagram story too. I don't know if it will be a chance for this week or not. Who knows? But Lockie Gallant came in.
Yeah, kick 8 in the SANFL probably justified it. But
yeah, fair.
I think if Tex is right this week, he probably didn't do too much to stay in the team. And I was listening to Tex on Triple M last week saying, obviously, players are going to say they're going to do everything to get up, but he said he was pretty confident, regained most of his vision. He was pretty happy with where he was at. So
Tex, no.
There's no real point risking it, to be honest. But
it's a 1 hour, 30-minute flight. Your back won't work. Okay? You've mowed the lawn this week. Just stop.
That being said, if I'm heading over to Sydney, which I am, and Isaac's out, so play Tex. Just put him in there. Just give us a few goals.
You reckon Billy Dowling's going to come back?
Maybe. I think he had a decent game in the SANFL, so...
The whole SANFL team had a decent game, didn't they?
Yeah, didn't have much of an opposition, really.
Port's depth, good luck.
It was interesting to see that there weren't many fans at that beforehand in their prison bar Guernseys, which they love ever so much. Yeah.
We got to talk about, as well, the response after that hit. Now, there was a lot that was happening in that game too, and we'll get to Rochelli's pointing to his dentures. But... the age of the team. I know there was some things you wanted to say about this, Ben.
Yeah.
About the stats, etc. And I think there was something from Ethan in the chat too, from memory.
Yes, indeed.
So on the last page, you can see here, how many players did we have that played 150 plus games?
2.
Versus Port having
7.
Now, if you're going to think about leadership and a response, etc., do you think that's going to be a factor in seeing a player getting carted off the field and it's 3/4 time and there's only 2 points in it? You've got to go through this.
Yeah.
And the fact that we had, 16 players that had played less than 100 games versus Port's 13.
Yeah.
Now, that's not a huge discrepancy, but at the same time, they were a little bit heavier in their...
It's those last two categories of 150 to 200 and 200 or more where they shit on us for experience. They had 7 players who had 150 or more games, which was significantly more. And we were actually the youngest team in the competition this week, which is numbers that we haven't heard since 2020, 2021, but we're back.
Yeah, we're back. Younger than ever. Travis Boak, that'll be its last showdown, won't it?
You'd imagine so.
You'd imagine so.
I mean, he's played okay. You might justify him getting one more year, but...
Yeah. Was it Himmelberg's last showdown, even though he didn't play?
I'd say so, yeah. It was definitely Dan Houston's last showdown.
And Razor Ray's last showdown too.
Yeah.
To be honest, okay, we've got to talk about the umpiring. It was shit.
Oh, it was horrible.
It was just... But universally shit.
Yeah.
We can deal with that. When there's decisions that go against us as well, that you're just like, what? But there was decisions that went to us, they were like, what? I can handle that. I don't know about you, but I'm okay with it.
It makes you feel a bit better knowing, be like, oh yeah, we missed that one, but we got that one, and yeah.
Exactly. And look, I don't mind Razor Ray.
Yeah.
I've never understood the hatred towards him.
He's a character.
He's a character, but to be honest, I think his decision making isn't that bad.
100%.
Consistently consistent.
Yeah. It's the same boat as what we've seen with Rochelle and the stuff we'll get to in a minute. Everyone wants characters in our game, but as soon as one steps up, oh no, he's shit, exactly. Get rid of him, blah, blah, he sucks.
Yeah, how dare he?
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to that in a second. But look, congrats to Razor on a long career. Sorry you can't bounce the ball anymore, mate. But
actually, have you seen the vision? It was on that account that I shared again earlier that did the commentary of the different ones. I think it
lace
was
out?
on I think on the 5AA commentary after the melee was happening, you hear Razor giving Matt Crouch an absolute spray and telling him, like, get away. It was like,
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what, Matt Crouch, he flew the flag.
he was.
And Sam Berry at 3/4 time,
Yep.
he barreled through and made a beeline for Houston too, and Houston dropped like a sack of spuds
Yeah.
as well. And I don't know, do you have the fines?
I can grab them. I know 5 Port players got fined and 2 Crows, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, because I'm surprised. I'm wondering if Berry, because that was quite an obvious, like, shirt front. He dropped Houston.
Yeah.
I was actually surprised that if he's not on there, I'll be very surprised. But there were some other comments that did come out about Josh Rochelle that he said on 5AA as well. Some comments. Oh, Nova Entertainment as well, because he did say it on Nova too.
Yeah, he doubled down. He decided to go twice.
Yeah, he was on level 4 and then went to level 5 as well, in the same building as well. They recorded in the same building and basically said, yeah, Port fans don't have teeth.
Yep. Just for clarification,
Yes,
so
thank you.
Asava Radaglia, Charlie Dixon, Dan Houston, obviously Zach Butters and Connor Rosie were all fined, while Rochelle, Nankervis, Crouch and Jackson Mead, as well, were all fined. So Sam Berry did not get anything.
Didn't get fined. Lucky boy. Start the car.
It looks like who copped the most here? Josh Rochelle is his second offence, so he got fined a little bit more than everyone else. But other than that, Charlie Dixon got done for striking on Isaac Rankin in the first quarter, which is interesting. But it wasn't a tactic to target him.
You know,
that's about it.
Speaking of the attackers, we'll get to the Rochelle comments in a second. Just backtracking though, I did say that in the chat, and I've said this about every Port game that Ken Hinkley coaches. If in the second or third quarter someone gets lined up and poleaxed like that, you can almost guarantee that they're just playing the man.
Oh, yeah.
And it's very easy to respond to that. However, I do think our team got shell-shocked a bit. Is that a loser mentality? It's something that can be adjusted, but I can see how people could think that, unfortunately.
Yeah. And I mean, the tactics of targeting someone, I don't, necessarily disagree with it. If you've got someone on an opposition who you go, yeah, they're going to tear us up, don't obviously go to the levels of, take him out, knock him out, but giving him some extra attention,
I think that there should be a sin bin. Hear me out here. Or just you're off, like a red card system or I don't know how to frame it, but I think it should be from the arc only.
Yeah.
Because you've got this period of time where both teams can regroup, okay, but clearly one group of people
Strongly disadvantaged by
are strongly disadvantaged because they got one less person. Okay, who's come off, who's come on, that sort of thing. You're going to be delayed, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I actually think it should be from the arc to say, no, we think in that moment that was careless and that was high contact. Whoever did it, out. If it was accidental, like an Ed Marinoff, right? Now, I know I keep referencing that one, but at the same time, she literally just stood there and the person ran into him and then got a fractured cervical vertebrae. How the hell did that happen? But anyway, that's not, you know what I mean? That's not it. However, in this, I actually do think it'll be something perfect. And I want to be clear, if the shoe was on the other foot and it was a Crows player, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, I just want fair and balanced, like Fox News.
Yeah. I think the only issue with that is who do you put your trust in to do it? Because we look at, when MRO decisions come out and we go, hey, that's not right, that's a bit over the top. If it costs a team a grand final, say.
Yeah, but you could tell, like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, I feel like, if it's a sling tackle and it's, there was a chance for them to break it off. You know what I mean? But it has to be also someone is being taken off the field. You've got that delay in the game. That's like 1 or 2. Like, this isn't going to delay anything. Yeah. It's going to be literally or whether they do it like VAR and it's like can one of the umpires come and have a look at this? We think it's this. Yeah. Do you confirm that? Or there may be something on the field, like, I don't know, and I'm speaking, hypotheticals here, but let's say Dan Houston's just like, oh my God, I can't believe I did, is like clearly visibly shaken up by it and is not a part of the huddle, and the umpires see that, the ARC might be like, okay, we think it's this, but the umpires are like, no, he's like bawling his eyes out. Something fierce. He's probably going to take himself out of the game anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
That's where I'm like, okay, maybe there's some wiggle room, and that's why you'd need some human interaction other than the...
Yeah, that's the hard thing. It's hard where to draw the line of,
Correct.
Where there are some where it's very obvious, there are some where it's probably not going to be so obvious.
Yeah.
And, it just leaves another opportunity for the AFL to come out for an apology on Monday morning saying, no, they got it wrong. And then we get fucked over and we miss finals. Oh, yeah, I'm reminiscing a bit too much.
It's a 1 year anniversary of that today. It's a 1 year anniversary. Anyway, tooth chat. Josh, God, Josh Richelli. Well, if you slap someone in the face from Port, they may not have teeth or dentures that might fall out as well, according to Josh Richelli, because he doubled down on Nova Entertainment across both the AM and FM bands by saying that Port fans don't have teeth. Ben,
I love it.
it was great.
I absolutely love it. It's just taking the complete piss. Clearly, it's not serious. Despite what some people might have taken it as and run a bit too far with, it was just good banter.
I loved the fact that it was, it seemed initiated by Josh.
Yep.
And I'm going to base that off of comments that I heard today from Rory Laird that he said on SEN.
Yeah, I saw those, yep.
Yeah, where he's just like, no, that's not something that we really do at the club, and, we've talked about it behind closed doors. And I'm just like, okay.
Take a joke, lady. Come on, mate.
Yeah, come on, lady. Come on, your desk. But at the same time, I think, okay, it seems like Josh did it. But this is a better tactic than Burden's chat of, I just hate that team.
Yeah, my dad got fired. I hate those guys so much. Yeah.
What if you got fired for performance issues?
What if you just sucked at his job? Like,
I mean, it's just an odd thing to hate another team because you got fired by them, or your parents got fired by them. Each their own.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I love it.
It added a bit of spice. Look, I think back to 2017 with Port's banner, where they call
the
us
Chardonnay
sippers, apricot slice, blah blah blah, and then we beat them by like 85 points. But hey, it's banter. It was a bit of fun. Yeah. And you had that Port fan who turned up with a bunch of tooth lollies.
Big TikToker, that guy. I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
He looked like he ate a few lollies as well. Just saying.
I actually don't get that part of the gag either, because Richelli has teeth. He was saying you don't have teeth. Why are you offering him teeth?
Yeah, and you're bringing teeth in a bag.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
Yeah, pull out your real teeth.
Yeah,
Show us your real...
Or match. There we go, see?
So why do you need those pliers? Hang on, let me just rip the teeth out here. You can take the pliers.
The only people that would get offended by Richelli's comments would be people without teeth.
Yeah, no, 100%. the interview on 7 News that night, where 7 have clearly just gone down to the Port store and just picked the first 3 fans. I was like, you're just proving his point.
That was so bad. And they're all hanging around a Port store too, like...
Yeah.
Got anything better to do?
Yeah. No, literally, just, you're proving his point. You're exactly what he said you were.
Exactly. Okay. Cane corns.
Oh.
He came out on Sunday morning and said that... what was the exact term he used? I can't remember.
Laughing stock of the competition is what he said.
Yeah.
And I have a stat about this, actually. I saw a tweet, which I'll pull up.
Yeah,
if you
exactly.
Want.
I was the alley-oop and this thing. Look, there were comments that Cane Corns came out about in regards to the showdown, and Richelli's comments saying that he made himself the laughing stock, etc. However, there was a couple of things that came up, and Kane, when you pick at the scab, blood comes out.
100%. That was a very nice attempt at just padding long enough for me to pull this up, and it's here somewhere. Essentially, if you remember in 2000, here it is, very well timing, 2002, Port Adelaide played Collingwood in a game, and Kane flipped the bird off at a Collingwood player. I can't exactly remember who it was.
Just like Willie Rioli did to the crowd. But
nothing was mentioned about that. He didn't get fined or anything.
No,
Interesting.
Even though I saw the actual footage of it. And
Dusty Martin does it and he gets a fine, but Willie can do it. Can do what he wants. So, yeah, basically, 2002 when Port played Collingwood and Kane Corns flipped off a Collingwood player after it, even though, they won that game and it was after they won. Kane's stats for that night, he had 9 disposals. That was it. Rash obviously had 10 disposals. He kicked a goal and had that big moment. It was only in the second quarter, but at the time game was in the balance.
Yep.
I think he put us up by a goal or tied the scores or something like that. As I said earlier, we all want characters in our game, but as soon as one pops up and, does something to break away from that little robotic mould that we're so used to, it's, trying to bash them down at any opportunity.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm a big fan of Josh.
Yeah.
Because honestly, he has come in leaps and bounds, I think, this year. At the start of the year, there were lots of questions. Then he shaved the head.
Yeah.
Yes. And as myself and Matt Monty recreated on the Walk and Talk, didn't go down well with the family. But at the same time, he's come on.
Yep.
And I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
And to be perfectly honest, more power to you. He didn't get to a point where it was derogatory or like as in vilifying just a minority, even though Port fans are technically a minority. Like, Crows fans of the general pop. Shit. Anyway, look, just get on with it, okay? Don't get triggered by it. Just move on, okay? And like we said, the only people that be offended are the people without teeth. Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, should we get... you got something up there?
I do. I have some more stats.
Sorry. Yes, Ben.
So Josh Rochelle, someone on Twitter pointed out earlier his third-year comparisons to Isaac Rankin's third-year comparisons.
Yes.
So Josh has played 22 games this year. Isaac played 18. He's had 50 more kicks, 39 more marks, 21 more handballs, 70 more disposals. He's kicked one more goal, 4 less behinds. He's laid 12 more tackles, 8 more rebound 50s, 30 more inside 50s. He's had 2 less clearances, 3 less contested possessions, 78 more uncontested possessions, and he's had an extra 1%er. Now, Isaac obviously has been fantastic for us, but that was the year before he left the Suns for us, was playing well. Pretty sure was in all Australian talks that last year at the Gold Coast. Yeah. So why are we beating down this kid for, not being in the game enough or having all these moments? And the other one, which we'll get to again in a second, is that he's been questioned for pulling out of a contest again, which clearly was not the case. But
he's Catholic. Anyway, let's get to the voicemails. So if you want to call us at any time, and we had a plethora of phone calls after the showdown, even during the showdown, so you can give us a call anytime. If you're listening right now, 82465498, or if you're calling interstate, 0882465498, or international, 001161 88246549. I should really test that when I'm overseas. Now, if you don't hear your voicemail, we will put it at the end of the podcast. Okay, guys? So we're just going to go through. We've picked out some, and thank you so much. And if we don't play yours, you'll hear it at the end of the pod. But here we go.
Always a shit feeling losing the showdown. Boys couldn't keep it together after Houston's dog hit on Rankin. If he doesn't get 6 or more, the AFL system is fucked. And send Zach Butters another fine as well. And flop. Dog. Off a fucking team, a lot of them. Can't wait to see them get knocked out in straight sets. It's going to tickle me pink. Thanks.
No, 100% agree with the stuff about Butters. So it was in the last quarter where they kicked a goal and then they got a free kick straight after and kicked another goal.
Yes.
Essentially, Mark Keane and him went together shoulder to shoulder. Like Mark Keane bumped him and he flew like he was in the Olympics. I don't think he knows that the Olympics finished last week and the diving's done.
That was just... And then, I don't know. Anyway.
No, it was weak.
Yeah. Next one.
Hey, guys. Crum robbed. Not sure what that was. Dan Houston deserves 10 weeks. He should be robbed of finals. Yeah, freaking hate the Port Adelaide Football Club. Go Crows. Flag Crom 2025. Thanks, guys.
Hell yeah, Jess. That's
Great
a
stuff.
Friend of the pod and Patreon, Jess, who had a hell of a headache as well. Believe me. All right, next up.
Yeah, James here from Twitter. Now, look, all I'm going to say is I'm not angry that we lost. I'm just disappointed that we can't keep our cool when it comes to the game when we need to win it the most. So I understand Rankin getting knocked out would piss anyone off. I absolutely fucking know it, all right? I'm going to keep the fucking calm. Lockie Murphy needs to be out of the fucking team, all right? He doesn't need to be in the team anymore. Fogarty, he needs to keep his fucking calm because he's a fucking leader, all right? That's all I'm fucking saying. We need to keep our cool. Team's going to go to anger management or some shit. We don't need this fucking camp bullshit. We need to go to anger management. Anyways, hopefully better 2025. I hope you guys are doing well. Hashtag @Crowy2025. That'll be my new nickname soon.
You can give him a follow on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, on Twitter.
If I'm correct, the current user is Stephen Crow. It will come up with. It's not Crowy 2025 yet. But yeah, I agree. Like we said, lost a bit of composure after the hit, and yeah.
You know, we've discussed that in depth too. But thank you for calling in. Next.
They are too nice. They are weak as absolute piss. They need to learn how to take a fucking chest mark. And they need to learn how to play some intense footy. Dan Curtin, hats off to you, mate. You were bloody awesome. That's probably one of the best games you've played all year. Other than that, Rochelle with that celebration, you beauty. That was highlight of the night for me. Doesn't matter if we lost that game in terms of that. Rochelle doing that, that's a win. But other than that, Port are cheating dogs and we hate them all.
Oh, that's brilliant. Next up.
Thought there were a few good things tonight. Curtin looked really good. Houston is getting sent to North Korea for what he's done. Big on us going into bat for a teammate. We don't often do that and sort of throw hands. Crouchy obviously wanted to hurt someone. It did get a bit undisciplined, but that's how the cookie crumbles. We'll be fine. Sid Draper locked in. Port will shit the bed again. Bring on 25.
Couldn't agree more.
Yep.
Couldn't agree more. Two more.
Crowject, fellas. What can I say? We're at the Tap House. We've lost to the bloody pair. I'm here with all of my mates who are all pair supporters.
Are they really?
And they're all celebrating. Yeah. Little do they know, they're going out in straight sets, and it's going to be freaking enjoyable. Also, Dan Houston needs to be hung and quartered. Change the game. Fuck that guy. Up the Crom. We'll win a flag before them. We're going for a flag for the next 4 years in a row. 4-beat historic. Here we go, up that Crom.
It's not David Koch, is it?
I can't wait for a 4-peat, to be honest. I've been waiting all my life.
Oh, mate. Back to back to back to back. Oh, God. Here we go. Last one.
Hey, guys. Very disappointing loss. Currently drinking, watching last week's Bulldogs game to feel better about myself. Rest in peace, Isaac Rankin. We dearly missed. And, God, I hope Houston enjoys watching the finals from Bali. That'll be nice. Yeah, not great. Hope everyone's okay.
I appreciate the wholesomeness of a lot of people signing off with "Hope everyone's okay."
Yeah, it's only two of us anyway. Now the rest of the gang, they're all down training for RecLink as well. They're down. Is that down at South Adelaide that they're doing it?
The oval where Cream used to play footy is that one somewhere down south.
The glass shard oval.
Yeah, probably that one. Yeah,
that's it. Not better than the shard.
Kenilworth
oval.
Was it Kenilworth?
Yeah, Kenilworth. Oh, okay. No, sorry, not the Flinders University Stadium, which is not a stadium. But look, thank you so much for calling in. 82465498. If you want to call right now and give us some abuse as well. Now The Bungie medal votes, Ben. Now, do we have an update on the lead? No, we don't.
We don't. We're going to sizzle it big for next week because we'll come prepared for that. I'll prepare it prior to flying out to Sydney so that I'll actually have it next Monday.
You're going to prepare it before? And
then we'll have the leaderboard ready for when we give our votes next week, and we can do a big reveal of.
Oh, maybe
we'll get you to write it down on a ballot. Actually, that might be a nice way to do it.
Yeah. And have Anthony Green present it. But Ben, give us your 3, 2, 1 for this game.
So 1 vote I'm giving to Hugh Bond, because he kept Willie Rioli in his pocket for a majority of the night, and it wasn't until Willie Rioli kicked a junk time goal and decided to think that he was the bee's knees and go at the crowd and give the good night celebration that he did something. So Hugh Bond gets my 1. Matt Crouch gets 2. Could have just given it to him for swinging at Travis Boak, but he had a good game other than that as well. And 3 votes, Jordan Dawson was a clear best on. Tried all game, was everywhere, and just was really telling. I think with about a minute to go, he had a kick in and he tried to just kick it as far as he could and only got to 50 and landed in Port Arms. It just showed how tired he was from all the effort that he'd put in.
I know. Yeah, so for my votes, my 3 votes is going to Jordan Dawson as well with 11 tackles too. He was everywhere, and the most equal first inside 50s for us too. 2 votes I've given to Josh Worrell as well. I feel like he really picked up as well. He landed on his arm at 1.2, which was looking a little bit concerning. However, he was able to come back out. And my 1 vote's going to Mitch Hinge as well. I feel like he played very well too. I've got to give a special comment as well to Rochelle, who also had our most inside 50s too.
I was very close to giving my 1 to him purely for his first half.
Yeah, but he loses points for saying things about dental hygiene.
No, I don't care that. I should give him the 3 actually.
Extra points for Bance as well.
Indeed. So it's not hard to work out the math for that one with only 2 of us here. Dawson gets the 3 votes, and I reckon he would probably be near the top of the table, quite unsurprisingly. Worrell and Crouch with the 2 votes, and Bond and Hinge with 1. So, as we said, we'll have the big reveal of the leaderboard next week prior to the votes. We might do a little bit of build it up a little bit and write in some votes.
Well, maybe we'll do it for our brown carpet special for the Brown.
We could do it like that as well, yeah.
We'll have a Cream walk in with a briefcase that won't have anything in it.
Just an empty bottle of Dare Ice coffee.
From like 2 years beforehand. And then
it's still good.
And then we'll tell him that you can get 10 cents for them. Shit. Thank you. Now, a big thing to our patrons as well, patreon.com/Crowject, and also get your merch over at crowject.bigcartel.com, including, it's sort of ironic that Soph left this here with our house for Isaac Grankin too. Fare thee well, sweet prince. He'll be back next season, we hope. But a big thank you to our patrons as well. $10 and above, helping to keep the lights on here. We've got Hayden Arthur, a.k.a. The Real Hilf, Jordan Marnie, Jess Cook, Jake Bockove, Drew Corner, Sam Curtis, Sean Marie Davies, Brendan McGarrigan, James Payne, Michael Bornholm, Simone McDonald, Jezza Withers, Paul David Clennett, and Matt Roylands and Neil Roylands. Thank you so much, guys. And thank you for everything you do for us too, especially in our Patrons chat. Yeah. Now, the SANFL.
Nicer results.
That happened. It was the baby showdown as well. And,
the only one that matters, really.
So you had some observations about the crowd.
Yes, well, it was very empty.
Yeah.
These Port fans tell us how they're one club and they love their prison bars and their history and their heritage, established 1997. I forgot to tell you, one of my mates was actually at the game on Saturday night, and him and his mates had a few call flutes which they took through, which I'll pull up now and show you. They had written EST 1997. Now, I didn't hear from him during the game. However, if you wish...
Oh, please.
So they had 3 of these, which they were getting around with, which I'm sure would have been...
So it's been written in like a Sharpie, just on a call flute, 45 by 30 centimetres, established 97. And how did it go?
So the showdown, the mini showdown?
Oh, no, as in those guys.
I haven't heard.
Oh, okay. They've been they're going to be reprogrammed in North Korea.
Yeah, no, understandably they weren't quite so chirpy the next morning after the result, but I imagine they would have had a bit of fun with it. He's not the type of person to lay back.
Excellent.
A bit
That's what we like to hear.
But no, anyway, the Port fans just, the one club didn't really show up for one of the games, but
they are shit.
Yeah.
In their SANFL.
Yeah.
And they have no depth.
Yep.
It makes me so happy.
I think if they lose to Centrals this week, they're on track for their first wooden spoon in I don't know how many years. It's a lot of years.
We need where are they playing that game at?
Could it be at the Peter Pan Ponderosa?
Oh, please be at the Potato Roaster Stadium. Oh, my God. It makes me want to go.
It'd be good if it, watching them win a wooden spoon wouldn't be bad. It is at Ex-Convenience Oval, 2:10 Saturday afternoon. Yes.
And it's going to be perfect weather too, 23 and sunny. You know what? I'm going. I'll see you all there. Get down there and bring your wooden spoons. I'm Italian. I've got wooden spoons. Don't you worry.
And at the same time, South Adelaide are playing Glenelg as well. Glenelg will probably beat them, but basically if South win, it's a foregone conclusion that Port will finish bottom. But if Port lose, they finish bottom. So this could be the biggest crowd the SANFL's ever seen.
I'm not that fat. Anyway, so who are the goal kickers?
So Tyler Welsh kicked 5 goals, which was very impressive. Chris Burgess kicked 4. Toby Murray and Gallagher, Carl Gallagher kicked 2. Cook, McHenry, Dowling, Strawn, Edwards and O'Leary kicked 1. Best on ground was listed as Smith, who I think had 34 touches. Burgess, Jones, Edwards, Boyle, Ryan, Welsh and Borlace. So great to see Tyler Welsh kicking 5 goals. I mean, even if it was against Witches Hats, but he still kicked them, which was good.
Seriously, fuck that club.
100%.
Honestly. And our next game versus Sturt at Unley Oval on Saturday. With the SANFL app, you can watch all the games at the same time. Not very well, but you can watch them.
and on that one as well, so we're playing for a final spot. So this is the final round of the SANFL season. So if we win and the Eagles lose, who are playing Norwood, who are sitting top of the table playing for top spot, we will go into the finals and you'll hear all about the no AFL in the SANFL again.
But do we want that?
100%.
Okay.
I don't give a fuck if we get belted in the first round of the finals. I just want to be there and trigger some SANFL ironed-on fans.
I love going on their SANFL Facebook and just saying, I'll purposely, especially if you get onto a post very quickly.
Oh, yeah, if you're one of the early comments, it's,
I'll say no SANFL in the AFL just to confuse. And you get a bunch of boomers that like it. You idiots. It's the little things that you've got to do when you live a sad life. Now, the AFL women's are on their quest for a 4th premiership. I cannot wait to see this amazing team back in action, honestly. And they were back in action on the weekend, weren't they, Benny Mac?
Indeed they were. And they beat Carlton, which is always nice. Fuck Carlton. 7-8-50 to 5-2-32. They swung Bedell up forward, which they were talking about experimenting with in the off-season, but she kicked 2 goals. Stevie Lee Thompson, fresh off her new contract, kicked a goal. Danielle Ponter, Maddie Newman, Jess Waterhouse and Brooke Tonin all kicked a goal.
Brooke.
Indeed, as we've got her Guernsey up here on the wall. Hello, everyone on YouTube watching.
Yeah.
But very exciting. We seem to be rolling pretty nicely and just getting the job done against, our opposition so far. We've played against Port, who aren't overly great, and Carlton, who are an average side, but just doing what we need to do before the season starts, and we'll see Port again on the 31st of August at that place that they talk up so much, Alberton Oval, and take it over.
Next week we will have Kristen, who will be joining us to review the AFL women's season as well. I'm really looking forward to that, and hopefully we'll get some player interviews happening too just before the start of the season too. Now, I actually can't wait for AFL Women's because, seriously, first, my daughter loves that team as well, and I'm really looking forward to going down to some of the games too. But you know what? It fills me with joy just to know that Port are taking so much solace in winning their first showdown game after we trounced them all last year, start of this year.
We were on a streak of 8 in a row after we won the first showdown this year.
Exactly. So you know what? You can gloat about this one. But guess what? At least we can eat a sandwich. Now,
they can if they blend it up.
Oh, yeah. Time for the news.
Indeed. So, I can't remember if we spoke about this last week. I don't think we did. But Alex Neil-Bullen has requested a trade back to South Australia, which is probably a little bit, telling us what's going on at Melbourne. If a player's already asked 2 rounds out for a
They
trade.
are having an exodus. And it's
100%.
almost like the whole AFL media industry forgot about that thing that happened before the opening round with a certain player who got busted for messaging about certain illicit substances. Maybe a culture problem. Who knew?
No. They came out plenty of times and told us there's no culture problem. So, no issues there. So Alex Neil-Bullen has requested a trade back to South Australia at the end of this year, and we're probably in the box seat. Report so far looking like a future second probably gets the deal done, which would be very nice. And Alex probably feels a Lockie Murphy type role, which will appease supporters such as myself, who are sick of seeing Lockie Murphy run around. We'll play it well, premiership experience. There's no downside to this.
Yep.
We're going to get a pretty decent deal, or if Paul get him.
Have we talked with Will Hamill, how he feels?
I don't know. I don't think we have.
Might have to break bread, I think.
Maybe. But I think there's literally no downside to this for me. He would be the first player we've recruited who's won a premiership since Podsy Adley. And the last one from before Podsy Adley, I think, was 2007 or 8. I thought a stat the other day. So,
wow.
I think we've had very few players in our team who have actually won premierships, and his experience and just being around the club would be invaluable.
Just thinking about who else. I mean, Wayne Carey.
Yep.
Sort of dubious circumstances there. Jarman as well, obviously, when he came from Hawthorn. Who else?
Yeah, I think actually, let me just get at the trade history for us now. But I was looking through it the other day. There isn't much.
I'm sure there's people yelling at us right now while they're sitting on their couches or driving at the moment and yelling at another player that I can't think of right now.
Troy Menzel, he never won a flag.
What do preseason ones count?
If preseason ones count, we might have a few more.
Times.
Other than that, we've got Wayne Carey. Daniel Shell won a few at Centrals.
Jeez.
Scott Welsh would have been at North Melbourne, but wouldn't have played in that 99 flag.
Yeah, but he was a part of it.
Mark Stevens won in 96 with North Melbourne as well. And then before that, there isn't much. Obviously, premiership players aren't, a dime a dozen. They don't come up all the time.
Does that mean Dustin Martin's coming to Adelaide?
Oh, it could be locked in.
So we get Lukosius, Dustin Martin,
Neil Bullen, Tyler Welsh, Sid Draper. We're in for a massive off-season. That's basically what I'm hearing.
Huge.
So for me, I would be absolutely stoked with this deal.
No.
It would be a fantastic move and really fills a role that we need filled in the team.
I've just realised there is a period that's coming up that I hate. Trade
period?
Oh, no.
What do you mean? 8 hours a day of pure speculation with nothing based on any sort of fact? What's the issue?
That's my
Adam
life.
Cooney's big mega trades.
Oh, no. Just wait until the end. Just wait.
That's all you need. Just do a wrap up at the end. We don't need to hear.
Don't be invested. Because guess what? It's all bullshit. Until they sign and things happen, don't worry about it. Don't stress. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Be zen.
Yeah, no, pretty much. Unless we're as active as what we say we are, there's not going to be,
Yeah.
It's never that fun to listen to. It is, but it's not, because then when it doesn't come true, it's just very disappointing.
Yeah, it's the Essendon edge.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, Adrian Dodoro.
See you later, yeah.
It's about 20 years too late, but, it'd be interesting to see who they get in. Because could you imagine the files that guy has? It'd be all loose leaf, like manila folders.
Oh, yeah.
Or he's done the really spiteful thing and taken it all with him.
He'd be that type of guy, I reckon.
Yeah.
Or he's going to put it in the car park and just set it on fire. He's that type of guy. Sorry, guys, I lost the files.
Sorry. Whoops, shredded it.
The password for that. It's gone.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's a dog ate my files. It's just a very bloated, like, just greyhound, just like, oh God, there's so much fibre. Anything else for the news?
No, I don't think so.
There was one thing that did come up tonight, and we didn't look at the Crowject. We've done a lot to not address these sorts of things directly, and I'll give an example about the Taylor Walker comments into 2022. We put a statement out about it, but it was quite hurtful what was said, and we don't like to give oxygen to these sorts of things as well. However, there were some comments that came from a alleged Crows fan that the club has done a club statement on.
Yep.
That were directed towards Willie
Rioli, yep.
I don't know the nature of those comments, and to be honest, we're not going to speculate on them, but we at the Crowject agree with the club stance and any rational human being stance that do not vilify someone based on the colour of their skin, their gender, their identity, etc. Just
don't be a dickhead.
Exactly. And there were also some comments on, I think, Twitter as well that we saw. I think it was the Sunday morning where they were shared in our chat as well.
Yeah, yep.
That got doubled down on. Did remind me a little bit of some comments that were directed towards Isaac Rankin after the Brisbane game. That sort of knuckle-dragging attitude. But, yeah, just don't be a dickhead, okay? And that's all we've got to say about that, because it pisses me off too much.
Nah, indeed.
All right. Now, do we get to the next game, Benny Mac?
Absolutely. What a rip-snorting game this will be for two teams that literally cannot move on the ladder. I can't believe I bought flights for this. There was rationale when I brought it. I'm thinking it might have been Texas.
You brought it early in the year, wasn't it?
No, it was only a couple of weeks ago.
What?
So it was. It was when all the speculation was coming out and people were like, oh, it could be Texas last year. So before the Dogs game. And then Virgin had a sale of like $100 flights to Sydney. And I was like, well, it's fate, isn't it?
That's fair.
Like if I don't go and it is his last game, I'll kick myself. So I bought the flights and fuck it. I'm going to meet up with a couple of mates. I'm going to get pissed. I'm not going to remember the game. It's fine. But yeah, we're playing Sydney at the SCG on Saturday night. That's never been a problem fixture for us before. Sydney on a Saturday night in the last round. Obviously, Isaac goes out.
Yep.
Don't know if anyone else goes out. I mean, Mark Keane was quite poor on the weekend for mine, but we don't have anyone to replace him, so he's probably not going out the team.
Exactly. I'm sort of also thinking Murphy.
Potentially.
Although I think we've been saying that for the last 8 to 10 weeks.
Yeah. No, he wasn't too bad. Like, he played a role higher up the ground. I think he had something like 16 touches, 5 clearances. Like, he had an okay game.
Yeah, he was okay. I think the issue was more are we wanting to go for SANFL finals, or are we wanting to blood the kids on an interstate trip? Or do we just say, nah, Murphy, just stay in Cromania stock take? That can wait another week. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. But,
I mean, Dowling, I had a look at the stats. He had 30 and he kicked a goal. He had a good game. Brodie Smith, dependent on if he accepts that 1 year, could it be a farewell game for Brodie Smith?
I hope he doesn't go out that way. I don't want this to turn into a Talia sort of situation. Where
where it's just see you later, bye. Yeah,
that was. I feel like that still makes me feel dirty how that was handled.
Yeah.
Who knows? It's selections. It's the Crows. No matter what, everyone's going to be mad.
Even for a round 24 game, that means absolutely nothing. People are still going to melt down about the team that gets picked. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, as it is every single week. But I just hope they put a team on the park that is competitive this week.
Oh, you and me both. Now, who wins, Ben, and how much? And now it says here who's kicking our best goal. Let's go for something a little more obscure stats-wise. Let's go for who has the most rebound 50s.
This is very hard because are Sydney going to rest players in a totally legal way that isn't actually resting players, but we all know they're actually just resting players because,
Imagine if we see this, there's 8 outs.
Yeah. Oh, Heaney, Parker, they're all got a bit of an injury. It'd be such a Crows thing to win.
It really would.
It would just be such a Crows thing to win or get blown out by 100 points.
Can we actually move on the ladder in any way?
No.
Okay.
So St Kilda winning on Saturday night solidified our spot in 14th. We can't go down. We can't go up.
Okay.
Sydney have got top spot sewn up. They can't move.
Yeah. Do we need the percentage? Sorry.
Typical percentage game. Can we carry it into next year? Purely for the fact that I'm going to be there, I'm going to say that Sydney will win because my record of away games recently has not been good. And just for the fact that they are obviously looking to rebound for some poor form going into finals. So I think they'll probably look to hit top gear and probably beat us by about 40 or so points. I don't think they'll smash us, but they'll convincingly beat us. And Mitch Hinge is probably a safe bet for rebound 50s.
Okay. I'm gonna agree with you there. I think Swans will win by 20.
Yep.
An even 20. A bit of a slop fest, I reckon it'll be, because one, you're going to be there.
Yep.
And two, it's just, like you said, is it a bit of a tune-up? You can just imagine even the production values on this game are just going to be poor.
Oh, yeah.
Just everything about this is just going to be like, ugh.
It's going to be like an AI commentary team. Just like no graphics on it. The halftime show is literally just KO saying we'll be back soon. There's no halftime show.
Oh my God, Dennis Cometti's back. They're just using his grabs.
They're just going to use AFL Live 2004 clips. Who are you going to go with? I'm going with the Swans. Thanks. I disagree. I'm going for Sydney.
Yeah, it's going to happen. Most rebound fits. I'm going to go for Michael Laney.
Yeah, don't mind that.
The other reason being a small ground. And I just wanted to say that because everyone says that.
It's a skinny ground.
It's a skinny ground. Now, a big thank you to our sponsors in Solely Designs, ARC General Maintenance, Nathaniel's Coffee and Panini, and Trojan Aluminium. It's been a tale of two tonight, but look, let's hopefully things will get better for the Sydney, even though it's the end of the season. Anyway, Ben, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much, Pete.
And that's it. My name's Peter. Go Crom.
Go Crom.
Always a shit feeling losing the showdown. Boys couldn't keep it together after Houston's dog fucking hit on Rankin. If he doesn't get 6 or more, the AFL system is fucked. And send fucking Zach Butters another fine as well. Fucking flop. Dog. Cunt. Of a fucking team, a lot of them. Can't wait to see them get fucking knocked out in straight sets. It's gonna fucking tickle me pink. Thanks.
Darcy Fogarty fucking sucks.
Hi guys, big fan of the pod here. Look, I think the issue stems from way up after tonight. We looked like we couldn't handle our emotions, and it's because I think we're constantly taught not to. We are from the board of directors to the front office to the coaches, now down to the players. We're so corporatized, which I understand we need to be due to making a living for the players and making sure that we appease the corporate sponsors and partners. But we're getting to the point now where the coaches are asked a question, they give a political answer so that they can't get in trouble with the reality of our sponsors that may have an issue. So I think tonight is a clear indicator that we don't know how to handle our emotions. Rankin got knocked out. We outraged within a second, started a brawl, and then didn't keep our composure for the rest of the game and lost it. There needs to be some serious emotional handling sessions, I think, throughout the club, and show a little bit of grit, show a little bit of passion, and show a little bit more of what we all love footy to be. Why we still turn up and support every week. It's the passion, it's the love for footy. I just feel like it's getting too corporatised. Anyway, might just be me, but I want to see a little bit more of reality. Love you.
Hey guys. Yeah, Crom robbed. Not sure what that was. Dan Houston deserves 10 weeks. Yeah, he should be robbed of finals. Yeah, freaking hate the Port Adelaide Football Club. Go Crows. Flag Crom 2025. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, James here from Twitter. Now, look, all I'm going to say is I'm not angry that we lost. I'm just disappointed that we can't keep our cool when it comes to the game when we need to win it the most. So I understand Rankin getting knocked out would piss anyone off. I absolutely fucking know it, all right? I'm going to keep the fucking calm. Lockie Murphy needs to be out of the fucking team, all right? He doesn't need to be in the team anymore. Fogarty, he needs to keep his fucking calm because he's a fucking leader, all right? That's all I'm fucking saying. We need to keep our cool. Team's going to go to anger management or some shit. We don't need this fucking camp bullshit. We need to go to anger management. Anyways, hopefully better 2025. I hope you guys are doing well. Hashtag @Crowy2025. That'll be my new nickname soon.
They are too nice. They are weak as absolute piss. They need to learn how to take a fucking chest mark. And they need to learn how to play some intense footy. Dan Curtin, hats off to you, mate. You were bloody awesome. That's probably one of the best games you've played all year. Other than that, Rochelle with that celebration, you beauty. That was highlight of the night for me. Doesn't matter if we lost that game in terms of that. Rochelle doing that, that's a win. But other than that, Port are cheating dogs and we hate them all.
Thought there were a few good things tonight. Curtin looked really good. Houston is getting sent to North Korea for what he's done. Big on us going into bat for a teammate. We don't often do that and sort of throw hands. Crouchy obviously wanted to hurt someone. It did get a bit undisciplined, but that's how the cookie crumbles. We'll be fine. Sid Draper locked in. Port will shit the bed again. Bring on 25.
Crowject, fellas. What can I say? We're at the Tap House. We've lost to the bloody pair. I'm here with all of my mates who are all pair supporters. And they're all celebrating. Little do they know, they're going out in straight sets. And it's going to be freaking enjoyable. Also, Dan Houston needs to be hung and quartered. Change the game. Fuck that guy. Up the Crom. We'll win a flag before them. We're going for a flag for the next 4 years in a row. 4-peat historic. Here we go, up that Crom.
Hey guys, very disappointing loss. Currently drinking, watching last week's Bulldogs game to feel better about myself. Rest in peace, Isaac Rankin. Will be dearly missed, and God, I hope Houston enjoys watching the finals from Bali. That'll be nice. Yeah, not great. Hope everyone's okay.